Okay, guys, this is sort of an introductory. Um, oh, okay, wait a minute, I got a problem here. Lower quality, letters, they see video and lower quality. Okay, well, I hope that's not true, but we'll move on with this little bit of an introduction. Okay. Um, First thing I want to say about the course, and this is going to be a generic introduction that I'm going to use in all my operation courses, so it'll sort of fit. And then we'll do it by module eventually as we develop a video version of the course. But the first, and this also is a lesson, amazingly, for operations in general. Operation managers don't panic. You're the people that don't panic. Everybody else does. Even though you may feel you need to panic inside, you've got to remain calm. So any problem you're having with the course, don't get too worried. We can work out any problem, okay? So don't panic. You have in the course materials, you have my cell phone and you have my emails. And I pick up my emails probably every few hours. If I'm traveling, at least once a day, okay? So you will be able to get a hold of me and get your message across, and if it's something and you don't have time and you can't get the homework in because you need this and that, we can take care of those issues. So remain calm. and in your future careers, if you are in operations and you are the boss, always remain calm, or have at least the appearance of calm when you're shaking inside. Okay, so there's that. Now, little quick background. Okay, I have a couple degrees in business. Well, actually, 3 degrees in business and 2 degrees in engineering. I have a engineering degrees from the University of Michigan, which I'm a Wolverine, and believe it or not, a master's degree in engineering from OSU, Ohio State. So, although I don't like to talk much about that, several degrees in business from Robert Morse University in Pittsburgh, and then my PhD is in operations from the University of Toledo, and it was a combo PhD, which had part engineering and part business. So this is my field. This is what I love. I do a lot of writing and research. Have been doing that for years. But half my career was truly in operations. Started as a foreman, worked my way up to vice president of the company, of a steel company. Went back to move into education and do research. So I stayed in doing research and read a lot of my writings. I now have over 25 books, 75 articles in operations, in business, and in economics. Okay, so that's my background, and like I say, to me, reading my materials, and I think it's a unique course in that respect. I'm not parroting some textbook. Okay, these are materials that I wrote, I researched, or experiences I've truly had that I'm going to share with you. So let's look at it from that perspective. Some of the books you'll be using are used at a lot of universities. One book that all operations courses use is an electronic book. I now own the copyright, so it's embedded in the course, and it goes by Titans. I call it the Titans. Interviews with the Titans of Business. It's a unique way of learning. It's a fictional interview with people like Henry Ford that are long dead and so forth. And you might say, well, how do you know? And I ask questions about current events. Well, how do I know how Henry Ford would answer? Certainly I'm not a mystic dealing with him or have a Ouija board or anything like that. The way I got there was doing research of Henry Ford's writings. And many of these operations, like Henry Ford, which I mean as an example, there's 25 in the book, left a great deal of writings and a great deal of material in the public domain. So I've been able to research and say this is how Henry Ford might answer that question. So from that, we'll move to some other things. You'll be dealing with several other books depending on which course you're in. I also write a lot of what's known as industrial biographies, sort of my own genre. It may be about the person or it may be about the industry. Right now, I've been working the last 10 years for each industry, aluminum industry, steel industry, rubber industry, to try to do a thorough history. And when you go through those thorough histories like that, you learn a lot of business. So you're going to have an opportunity to take a look at those things in the course, okay? Let's see. The other things, I think the key to successes in the course, whichever course you're taking online, first of all, get the homework in on time, okay? There's a 50% off rule for that. Why do I do that? So things don't back up for everybody. I try to hold to my end of the deal and get them graded quickly and back to you. I expect you to get them in on time. If you're having some problem there, again, you can get a hold of me, but let's try to get them in on time. That's one of the keys. The other thing is you have to do the readings. I mean, the biggest failure of students is they don't do the readings. They try to wing it. Some of the quizzes, it's impossible to wing it because the quizzes are designed to see if you're doing the reading. Almost all the questions come off the readings, okay? In fact, in most of my courses, unless I specify it, I don't want you using the internet. You'll have a lifetime to use the internet, okay? I want you to focus on the materials of the course and use them to craft your answer. Some people say, well, can I use the internet? Yes, you can if you want to use it as supplementary material, but understand that the majority of the grade is on how you can show me that you're doing the reading and the study, okay? We don't want people just going on the internet, cutting and pasting. That's a common thing today. It's unfortunate. You know, you will use that in your careers, I'm sure, so, you know, you have plenty of time about that. And there will be a few questions where, you know, we're dealing with such a current topic that you can go do that, okay? The other thing, just as a note, you know, we have extensive, with this Blackboard version, checks on plagiarism. I hate to have to bring up this topic. It's not an issue so much with our domestic students, sometimes with our international students because they come from different cultures. But you can't copy material. And we see this on the news all the time, and we see politicians getting in trouble all the time for plagiarism. So, you know, just, you know, don't copy the material from other people. The Blackboard system not only checks this semester, but will check last semester's if I don't change the question. Change the questions, but sometimes I like some of the questions that are in there. So be forewarned on that, and let's not have that issue. You know, the grade, again, I focus on the content. If you do the reading and get the homework in on time, okay, you won't have any trouble with this course or any of the operations courses. There are no trick questions on the quizzes. Quizzes are based on the reading, and that includes the slides, I should say that, review of the slides. Hopefully, you know, that's clear. Let's see, the other thing is, yeah, there's a set of slides with each module. Most of the operations courses and the details will be in the course, but I usually use 2 books. One is usually, like I say, on the industry or a particular operations manager, and the other more of a general book. So you have that. And then you have the Titans, those interviews, those are in the course, okay? So you have material. There's a lot of reading to do, okay? And you might expect that, since in an online course, we're cutting out all the lectures and so forth. So the reading can look overwhelming, but I assure you, once you get into it, it isn't overwhelming, okay? Let's see, what other points do I want to make here? Got a little cheat sheet here. I think I made most of the main points. again, the other thing is don't panic. Get back to me. We can handle some things there. We can. There, I can't ever remember. I couldn't clean up. I mean, I don't ever remember being a student at loggerheads over something that happened. We can get it done. I assure you that. So I need you to relax and really try to learn. There's a lot of material here, a lot of experiences I share with you so that hopefully you'll use those in your future careers. A lot of research I've done. Coming from that, I come from a family of industrial managers. I've lived and breathed it. Even my brothers, I've gone through bankruptcies. I've gone through all kinds of mergers, you name it. My brothers also have had the same experience. So went through a merger, another one went through a full bankruptcy like I did with LTV Steel. Worked for Borders Books. So mergers, I went through maybe 5 mergers. And I share a lot of those experiences in the materials. Because it's something you'll be facing more in your career in the future than even I did. And statistics say now that you guys, okay, you go into business, you will deal in your lifetime, either directly or very indirectly, with 5 mergers and at least 3 bankruptcies. Maybe a main supplier to you goes bankrupt, something like that. So those are pretty stark statistics. The statistics on the other thing is reorganizations, and these are painful, and you can struggle with them. The statistics say that you'll have 25 of those in your careers. I don't know. I never counted how many I went through, but I'll tell you, sometimes it seems like every year. And that includes university. Same way. New person comes in, they want to reorganize. There's a lot of pain. There's a lot of fear in the organization when you do those type of changes. I personally advise you to keep those to a minimum if you're in charge, unless they're absolutely needed, because you're wrenching and changing the whole organization. And believe me, a lot of people, it's fear. It's just like if you're new in this course or whatever, you're concerned. How do I do good? And so forth. Okay. Oh, one other thing I do want to make a comment on. I just want to make sure, come from all my writings and that, as you will see, I come from a manufacturing background. I love manufacturing. Love it. Just I can't tell you how much I love it and read about it to this day. So I tend to be, although I tend to be politically conservative, a lot of my views are, some even like this, but are more like a Trump on trade, which neither party likes. I believe that you should tariff companies, tariff products coming into the country, if there's currency manipulation and so forth. I'm for free trade, but it has to be fair. But you don't have to agree with me, is the point I'm trying to get to. Okay? Just make your point. Don't feel I got to agree with what he thinks. Now, in the readings, I try to be fair. For in the Titans, you're going to read an interview with the great free trader, Adam Smith, and on the other hand, the great protectionist, William McKinley. So I do always try to give you both views in there. You even read an interview in there, Robert Owen was a communist, a socialist in manufacturing. So you'll even get that perspective. I don't want you to feel you have to go with what I'm thinking. Now, if you want to know what I am thinking, I do put in the attachment something called a manufacturing manifesto, which I wrote for a couple national organizations. One of them was even a union, one of the United Steelworkers. Again, sort of an apolitical, because my view on trade doesn't sort of fit in either party's box. But basically, you boil it down as I want America first, American manufacturing. I want to see a strong, I believe in manufacturing. Country needs it. So So anyhow, you can take a look at that manufacturing manifesto, and see where I'm coming from. But again, don't be afraid that if you're some sort of a super free trader, and that's what you got from economics courses, and you'll get that. This course, Manufacturing View, is a little different than the economic view you probably taught. Universities tend to teach free trade economics right now. And hopefully that'll help you formulate in your own life where you're at. Okay? So hopefully we take care of that, because we do get into a lot of issues like tariff and trade and that and manufacturing. So you gotta touch on sometimes these sensitive issues and political issues that maybe not everybody agrees with. Again, my only direction is I want American manufacturing to work and be powerful. So that I'm always coming from that standpoint. Okay, I think that's enough for the introduction. Now I just got to figure out how to turn it off, and we'll be all set, huh?